Doing a little Sunday scouting. Holy Moses. So it's currently almost 8:30 and we've covered a lot of ground this morning, but deer really weren't moving much last night due to the really cold weather. Found our first fresh deer track that wasn't here this morning when we crossed this road, and it appears to be a decent sized buck chasing the doe. We're gonna try to get after her. What do you think, Ethan? I think we have a pretty good chance catching up to him. What a day. Beautiful out, but it's probably like 10 degrees. Even colder with the wind. All right, so we tracked this doe track and buck track for about 3/4 of a mile through some thick stuff, and we kind of lost it. But we're now getting close to the truck. We just found another buck track, and there's scrapes everywhere. Never seen something like this before. Look at all those scrapes. Following him down the mountain now. He's moseying along. Nipping on some buds. And the only fresh tracks we've seen today. Oh, he's feeding a little bit. That was fresh. What do you think? Keep going. Alright, so we're out here this morning. Got up at like 5, we were out the door by like 5:30. Covered some pretty good ground so far, about 4 or 5 miles. Haven't seen a single fresh deer, or we've seen one doe track, really small doe, but it's super windy up here. It's gonna be like, I don't know, 15 degrees, 16 degrees out.
Wind chills,
but I think we're in for a storm this afternoon. Hopefully we're probably just gonna keep traveling the same road until we catch a deer crossing the road. If we see another track on this road, it's probably gonna be fresh.
Made a good decision and brought the shotgun this morning. See a couple partridge up in the
tree.
So
I blasted one of them.
One of the biggest partridges I've ever seen.
Yes, sir. Well, we're hoping. Ethan and I pushed a piece of woods yesterday, tracking a buck and a doe, and came onto several other deer tracks. Kind of got twisted up a little bit and lost it. I think we came out on another track, and then we found like a fresh scrape line, and then we pushed like 4 or 5 deer out of that piece of green growth we were in yesterday.
You're so thick we couldn't catch up.
Yeah, I was getting like poked in the eye and friggin' couldn't even like maneuver my way through the fucking trees.
We'd run in and make a grunt, and we'd catch up to the deer and see where he turned around a little bit, and then he would go J-hook around where we were, and it's hard to catch him up here. It's not easy hunting.
Oh, guys, wish us luck.
All right, are you at camp or are you driving around?
I'm getting ready to bug out.
All right, well, bug out. I'm sure you probably will see one there right by the camp. If you're taking a right, I'm sure there'll be something moving through there.
And then we drove around, hit, I don't know, covered at least friggin' 20 miles or so. And didn't see a single deer track. I don't think the deer were moving much last night. Shot a bird this morning. Now we linked up with Mark, the old veteran bird hunter. And now we're just on this sketchy road.
Being a retard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of deer hunting, hoping to cut a fresh track. It's kind of later in the day, so it'd have to be really fresh.
Like that one right there.
Oh, no shit. Stop for a second. All right, we finally found a deer track. So, doe tracks, probably made last night. Well, we're bringing this GMC Sierra through some pretty gnarly roads. Well, we've stopped to take a break here. What a beautiful day. Nice and cold, a little breeze, and then a cloud in sight. Some nice cuts up in here. No birds yet. Ethan's taking a little snooze. Alright, are you doing alright, Ethan? Alright, so Ethan and I, we slayed the birds this afternoon. We both got our limit. We got 4 birds apiece. Not too bad.
Figured we'd get off the road a little bit, looking for tracks and see
Yeah.
if we can kill a couple.
There wasn't
birds.
many deer tracks
They were
last night
everywhere.
or today. We
Birds
probably
were
saw
everywhere.
one really nice buck track from last night, and we saw a couple doe tracks, but there wasn't anything serious. But now we're just getting back to the old cabin. Looks like Dad's back. I wonder how he made out today. And of course Mark's back. He's been at camp like the whole week. There's the old buck hanging. Hell yeah, what a day. I never was able to get this on footage or anything, but my dad and I, during the day of the storm last Wednesday, we got 5 or 6 inches up here, and when there was about 2 or 3 inches on the ground, we drove that like whole morning till like 11. It was 10, probably 10 o'clock, and we found a really fresh. It could have been a spike horn. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish, especially when there's a lot of different snow. It didn't really have a massive toe drag or anything, but we ended up tracking it across the stream, up a ridge, went into some really thick green growth, and then ended up going down a ridge into like an opening, an old skid trail, and ended up jumping him out of his bed, him or her, it doesn't matter. I mean, my philosophy when you're tracking deer is kind of just keep after. If you really can't find a buck track, just follow it though. You know that you never know. That could lead you to a nice buck. Anyways, Dad and I jumped that deer and jumped him multiple times, and we started kind of like looped back to where it came from, and we were down a couple different. Mock over here causing some disruption. Anyways, we walked down this trail, and we heard a deer blow at us. And I turned the corner, and Dad was behind me, and he said he saw some deer legs. And of course, I was on the track. I was just focused on the track. I wasn't really looking around. Of course, when the guy's in front, this is how Dad and I do this. I don't think Hal Butt or anybody does it like this, but you never know. The guy in the backs, I stay on the track and focus on the track and learning the deer's behavior and whatever. And the guy in the back is, kind of weaving their eyes through the woods just to look for movement or in case we jump a deer or whatnot. And he saw a deer's legs, and I couldn't see it because there was a pine bough in front of me. And Dad was probably like 10, 15 yards behind me. And he said, "Hey, there's a deer there." And I kind of like maneuver around that pine bough, and I could see, it was probably 35, 40 yards away. I didn't really have to look through my scope to see if it had antlers. Pretty decent rack. And I couldn't get a good shot at its shoulder because its shoulder was behind a tree, and it was making a scrape. And I was like, wow, I'm probably going to shoot it seemed like a pretty good sized deer. And it wasn't original track they were after was a different, so that it probably could have been a doe, but the original track we were after, that wasn't the same one, and just happened to cross him or cross tracks with him, and he was making a scrape, and I plowed him, and he was bleeding everywhere, and I was able to. He ran probably half mile in the woods after I shot him. All right, we were just on the track this morning, probably tracking like 4 or 5 miles, and we weren't sure if it was a buck track or a doe track, but we came into another deer when we were tracking this deer, and there he is right there. So you can see his head bobbing. We put 2 shots in her. He's a cocker, baby.